Hello and welcome to Just Vintage Crochet. And isn't this beautiful? This is actually a baby blanket, but I think I did my best to break down the stitch count, so I'm going to give you a stitch count. The way it works out, it worked out for me. I tested it out three times actually. I tested it out 3 times. The first 2 times worked out perfect. The third time I had 1 extra stitch, and the 1 extra stitch didn't even make that big of a difference because it was a chain 3, so you couldn't even tell. But I think I have the stitch count worked out. So this is really, really gorgeous. I saw this and I'm like, oh gosh, yeah, I need to make this right away and show it off on the channel. This pattern comes to us from the 1970s, the late 1970s. So let's get right into what we need. You will need just some simple basic sport weight yarn. I like to use this. You know, we are a budget-friendly channel around here with, I think, one exception whenever I use the Angora. But we are a budget-friendly channel around here because I live on a budget. You can get this big ball here at your Walmart or your Target. It is $8 or less, and you get 1,077 yards of it, if I can find that. Right here, you get 1,077 yards. Very, very nice. It's the kind of thing where you can get 2 for under $20 and make a blanket. Simple, done. The pattern does actually call for a sport weight. The pattern also calls for a 3.75 millimeter hook. So let's just get right into the pattern. I already started it. Well, I started a sample of it, okay? So for the baby size, the pattern is calling for a chain of 135. So my recommendation, if you want to make it bigger, is chain the 135, as that 135 also includes the chains you need to skip for your turning chain, and then just keep adding 35. I believe the stitch count, the pattern repeat count is 35. So, because I tested that, I chained 135 and then I added 35 and it worked out perfect. It didn't work out my third try. I had 1 extra stitch, but the extra stitch was the chain stitch, the turning chain, and you really, when you work your last stitch, you can't even tell, you can't even see it. So if that happens to you, don't worry about it, it'll be fine. But I do believe it is 135, then just keep adding 35 until it's as wide as you want. So I went ahead and chained 70. This is just going to be for a little sample, so go ahead. So what you'll want to do, chain your 135 plus all the additional add 35s that you need. In your skip 3 chains, and in your 4th chain from the hook, work a double crochet, and then just work 1 double crochet into every chain all the way to the end. And then come on back and we will get started on the design. Okay, so now that you have your first row of double crochet done, the pattern calls for us to chain 3 as our first double crochet, but if you are new to the channel, I don't really do that if I can avoid it. Sometimes it can't be avoided. In this case, we can avoid it, so I will be working a stacked single crochet throughout the entire pattern for our turning chain. How that works is, without chaining 1, you turn your work. You go into that first stitch right there and work up a single crochet. Now, the side of the stitch, you will see 2 strands, 2 loops, right? This forward, we call this the forward loop. We will be working into this loop right here. So you will just go into that loop and work another single crochet. And this is how you can replace the thin and flimsy floppy chain 3. So we are going to work 9 more double crochet in a row, for a total of 10, counting your first stitch there. I'll be right back whenever I have a total of 10 worked up. Of course, that total of 10 counts this first one we did. Okay, we have our total of 10 double crochet worked. Now we're going to work our first cluster stitch. So that's going to be basically 5 treble worked together. So we will be working the cluster stitches in the back loop only. All the other stitches will be worked in the full stitch, both loops. So yarn over twice and go into the back loop of your next stitch over and pull through 2 and pull through 2 and stop. Leave 1 unworked loop on your hook. Now you should have 2. Yarn over twice, go into the same stitch and repeat this 4 more times. What we are looking for is a total of 6 loops on our hook. Pull through 2, pull through 2. Now we have 4 loops on the hook. Now we have 5. And now we have 6. And to get those 6, we have to work 5 partially worked treble crochet, US treble crochet. Now you will yarn over and pull through all 6 loops, yarn over again and into the very next stitch. Start working your first of 15 double crochet in a row. And these will be popped out toward you. So you'll want to manually get them there, just like that. So that was 2. We need to work 15 double crochet, and now we are working in both loops, the full stitch. So I'll be back whenever I have 15 double crochet. Okay, there's the 15 double crochet, and we're just going to repeat yarn over twice in the next stitch over in the back loop, work a cluster stitch. You will repeat this all the way to the end until you have 10 stitches left unworked, and then just work 10 double crochet to the end, precisely how we started, because we started with 10 double crochet. So there we go. That's 3, 4, and 5. And you can always tell that you have the right amount whenever you have 6 loops on your hook. Pull through all 6, yarn over, next stitch over through both loops, and start working your 15 double crochet. 2, 3, and of course I have to pop my cluster forward, and there we go. So I'm going to keep working this to the end, and I will come back whenever I have 10 stitches left unworked. I'll be right back. This is what everything should be looking like. So once again, in my situation, I'm going to have 1 extra stitch, but it's the chain stitch, so it should blend right in. I'm not exactly sure what I did different these last 2 times from, from the first 2 times. You know, I just got my counts off, but I mean, by the math, it should be 35 should be the pattern repeat count. Okay, so here we go. And now you'll get you'll get a chance to see what this looks like with 1 extra stitch, how well it blends in. Because it's just the chain stitch. It's very thin. It's easy to get away with that little oopsie. Here's my last stitch, and I think it blends in okay, you know. We could also do this. Could also get away with doing this, maybe. There we go. And that just kind of eats up that last extra stitch. I think that's what I'm going to stick with. So yeah, I don't know, the first 2 times I worked out the stitch count, I had it spot on. These last 2 times, I don't know what I'm doing different. But I keep coming up with 1 extra stitch, and honestly, we saw how to fix that. It's not that big of a hindrance. Okay, moving on to row 3. Row 3 is going to be really easy. We're going to either chain 3 or work a stacked single. There we go. And then just work 1 double crochet into every stitch. And you should end up with the exact same number of double crochet that you started off with. So in my case, it will be 70. Maybe. Might be 69. Okay, be right back. And when you get to a cluster, just work that cluster stitch right there, like it's a top of a regular stitch. just like that. There we go. Okay, let's move on to row 4. Again, I'm going to work a stacked single. It calls for a chain 3. Just know that throughout I'm going to work the stacked single, so I won't mention it again after this. So that was our first double crochet. We're looking for a total of 8, so let's work 7 more double crochet in a row. 1, 6, and 7. I just have to count because I slipped my hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. Now we're going to work a cluster in the next stitch, so that was back loop only, yarn over twice, and work 5 treble crochet together. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yarn over and pull through all 6. Now let's work 3 double crochet going through both loops. Pop that out. 1, 2, and 3. And in the next stitch over, work another cluster. Now we're going to work 11 double crochet in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. And we're going to work another cluster. The repeat is going to be 11 double crochet, cluster, 3 double crochet, cluster, 11 double crochet until you have 8 stitches unworked. Then you will just work 8 double crochet. So here we go. Cluster in the next. Two, 3, 4, 5. One more. Pull through all 6. Work 3 double crochet in a row. 1, 2, and 3. And in that next stitch over, work another cluster. Then we work 11 double crochet in a row. So that is your repeat. And just work your last 8 double crochet to the end and then come on back. And this is how everything, get this popped out. This is how your repeat should look from here to here. Okay, I will be right back. You know what? I did this cluster in both loops, and if you find it easier to work in both loops, I say go for it. It really, truly doesn't look much different. It's less narrow from what I can see. Working in the back loop creates a bit of a narrower. This is less narrow. It's a little more round. So if you find working in the back loop a bit fiddly, like I kind of am, I would say just work these in both loops. Why not? It almost looks a little nicer. This looks more like a popcorn stitch. This way, this looks more like a puff stitch. Oh, I just wanted to show you that in case you were curious. Okay, so I worked the rest of my row working the cluster stitches just through the full both loops. And I have to admit, I really like the way it looks like this better. So I'm probably going to do it this way throughout the rest of the pattern. These look great. They just don't have quite the drama that these ones do. These ones right here, they just, if you look, and then you look at these ones here, like I'll cover those ones up. They seem to have just a little bit more drama. They're a little firmer. I don't know. I guess there is a difference. I like them. Try to puff these out, give them a chance, you know. I think I'm just going to work the rest of the pattern working through both loops on the puff stitches. It was less cumbersome. It was a much more pleasant working experience. So that is what I'm going to do. So there we go. Let's move on to row 5. And row 5 is going to be 1 double crochet in every stitch. And just remember, work right over the top of your popcorns. Just treat that like a regular stitch. So I will be right back when we get to the other end. Okay, so for row 6, let's turn and work 6 double crochet in a row. So this will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now let's work a cluster, and I'm just going to work through both stitches. It was just so much easier this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. Pull through all 6. Now let's work 1 double crochet into each of the next 2 stitches. 1 and 2. Yarn over twice and work a treble crochet into the next stitch. We are starting our pineapple stitch pattern now. Yarn over 3 times, and into the next stitch we're going to work double treble, chain 3, double treble, all into the same stitch. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4 pulls, chain 3, yarn over 3 times and into that same stitch, work 1 more double treble. 1, 2, 3, and 4 pulls. Yarn over twice, and the next stitch over, work a treble stitch. Work a double crochet into each of the next 2. 1 and 2. Let's work a cluster stitch in the next stitch over. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to work 7 double crochet in a row to get over to the next diamond over, but this is the repeat. 1. I'll get myself over there and then show you how it looks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And now you're going to repeat everything we did here over and over again. All of your pattern designs, your diamonds are going to be separated by 7 double crochet, okay? So that's going to be cluster, 2 doubles, a treble, double treble, chain 3, double treble, all into the same stitch, treble, 2 doubles, and a cluster, followed by 7 double crochet. Okay, that is your pattern repeat there all the way to the end, and you will end by working 6 double crochet into your last 6 available stitches. Then come on back for row 7, but not too bad. We're starting our pineapples now. All right, so for row 7, we're going to work 7 double crochet in a row, starting with this one being number 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then right on top of this puff stitch or cluster stitch is 7. Now we're going to chain 2, skip the next 3 stitches. So let's determine what that is. That is stitch. Nope, okay. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to skip our 2 doubles and the treble and work a double crochet into the top of the double treble. Now we're going to work 5 double crochet into the chain 3 space. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then repeat that down. So into the double treble, we work a double, chain 2, skip the next 3 stitches, and into the top of the cluster stitch, we work a double crochet. This is the first of the next 9. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then on top of the next cluster is 9. So it's worked 9 double crochet in a row. This counting is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then right on top of this cluster is 9, and then we repeat. Chain 2, skip the next 3 stitches into the top of the double treble. We work a double, 5 doubles into the chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Work a double crochet into the top of the next stitch over. So we're basically looking for 7 double crochet in a row. Chain 2, skip, and starting into the top of the cluster, we start working our 9 double crochet in a row. So work this all the way to the end, and you're going to finish the way you started with 7 double crochet. I'll be right back. Okay, now let's move on to row 8. We're going to work 4 double crochet in a row. This being 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now we're going to work a cluster into the next stitch. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. Pull through all 6. Work 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Sort of locks that cluster in. Now we're going to chain 1, skip skip the next double crochet and work a double crochet into the next, double crochet over. Chain 1, work a double crochet into the next over, all the way to the end. So we're going to work all 7 double crochet here, separated by chain 1. Just going to keep repeating that. Double crochet, chain 1, double crochet, chain 1, and one more time. So you should have 7 double crochets separated by chain 1. Okay, now chain 1, skip the first double crochet, work a double crochet into the next, then work a cluster into the next stitch over. Two, 3, 4, and 5. There we go. Okay, we're going to work 1 double crochet into the next 3 stitches. So that's 3 double crochet in a row. Work your cluster into the next stitch. This is the repeat. work 1 double crochet into the next, and we're going to repeat everything that we did over here. So we're going to chain 1, skip the next stitch, skip the 2 chains, and start working 1 double crochet, chain 1, next stitch over, double crochet, chain 1, next stitch over, and repeat that all the way. There we go. Chain 1, skip the 2 chains, skip the first double crochet, work 1 double, followed by a cluster, and so this is your repeat right here. So you're going to end with the same way we started, with 4 double crochet to the end. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, let's work row 9. This is going to be a pretty easy row. Work 5 double crochet in a row, this being number 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on top of the cluster is 5. Okay, we're going to chain 2 and right into the first, chain 1 space here between the 2 double crochet. So we're skipping over all of this. Work a single crochet, chain 3, next chain 1 space over, single crochet. Repeat this all the way across the shell, chain 3, single crochet. We're looking for 6 loops total, 6 chain 3 loops. There we go. Chain 2 and jump right into the top of the cluster and start working 5 double crochet in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, and into the top of the cluster is 5. And so this is the repeat. Then you will chain 2 again and repeat what we did on the first shell. Just jump right into that chain 1 space and start working your single crochet and chain 3s. And with 2 chains, jumping over the space here, jump over the first double crochet, and starting into the cluster there, start working your 5 double crochet in a row, just like we did right here. So this is your repeat. Okay, I will be right back. Okay, so row 10, we're going to work 2 double crochet, this one being our first, so 2 double crochet in a row. Now let's work a cluster. It's 3, 4, and 5. We're going to work, well, let's go ahead and pull that on through. Now we're going to work 1 double crochet to lock that down in there. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3. And we're going to do what we did in the last row. So we're going to go into the loop and work a single crochet, followed by a chain 3 into the next loop, chain 3, single crochet into the next loop, all the way to the end of the pineapple. There we go. Now we're going to chain 3 again. Skip the first, double crochet, work 1 double crochet into the next, work a cluster stitch, 1, 4, and 5, pull through all 6. We're going to work 1 double crochet into the next stitch over to lock this down, chain 3, and repeat. So this is the repeat all the way to the end. Okay, you're going to chain 3, skip your first double crochet, work 1 double into the next, work your cluster stitch into the next, lock it down with a double crochet into the next stitch, chain 3, and work your pineapple stitches. This is what your repeat should look like. Just like this, all the way to the end. It looks very nice, doesn't it? I think so. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, let's do row 11. I did end with 2 double crochet, just how we started, 2 double crochet. All right, so now we're going to work 4 double crochet in a row. We are going to work into the chain space. And so here we go. That is 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to work 1 more double crochet, making a total of 5 in a row into this chain space. So we'll work 1 more into the chain space. So now we have 5 in a row. Now we're going to chain 3, and we're going to work our pineapple repeat, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, chain 3 across the pineapple, just like that, chain 3, and we're going to work 1 double crochet into the chain space, 1 double crochet over every stitch, 2, 3, and 4, and then 1 double crochet into the chain space, making 5 in a row. Chain 3, and work your pineapple repeat. And this is the repeat all across. You will work 5 double crochet in a row, utilizing that chain space on both sides to work 2 of them. And you're going to work your pineapple repeat with a chain 3 this time. Okay, I will be back when we get down to the end of the row. You're going to end the same way we started. 1 double crochet into your last chain space, and then 4 double crochet in a row afterward to the end, for a total of 5 in a row. Okay, here we go. This is the finished result of round 11, or row 11. Very easy, just working 5 double crochet in a row and all that. Okay, let's move on to let's move on to row 12. We're going to work 4 double crochet in a row, this one being our first. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Work 1 cluster into the last double crochet on the end. 1, 2, 3, yes. Okay, and then we're going to work a double crochet into the chain 3 space to lock that down. There we go. Now we're going to chain 3 and work our pineapple repeat, single crochet, chain 3, single crochet, oh, and that was it. Okay, chain 3, and you're going to work 1 double crochet into the chain 3 space, work a cluster into the first double crochet of the 5 here, and then we're going to work 3 double crochet in a row. That's 1, 2, and 3. Pop that little fella out. There we go. And we're just going to repeat, work a cluster into the last stitch. This is the repeat for the rest of the row. There we go. And like we did before, we're going to work 1 double crochet into the chain 3 space. I like to try to work these a little tighter to get a little more pop out of those cluster stitches. So I'll try to work that really tight like that. That way I can get a firm pop on those clusters. Then we will chain 3 and work our pineapple stitch. We should have, there we go, we should have 2 loops on the pineapple stitch. Then you will chain 3 and work a double crochet into the chain 3 space, work your cluster, 3 double crochet in a row, work a cluster, double crochet into the chain 3 space, and work your pineapple stitches. This right here is the repeat. You know, from here to here. This is your repeat. So work this all the way to the end. You're going to end with the same number of double crochet that we started off with, 4. I'll be right back. Okay, let's jump right into row 13. So here we ended with 4 double crochet on row 12. Now we're going to work 6 double crochet in a row, this being our first one. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now you're going to work 1 double crochet into the chain 3 space. So now we have a total of 7 in a row. So we have 6 on stitches and 1 in the chain space, and that's going to make 7 in a row. We're going to chain 3, work our pineapple stitches, 1 and 2. Here we go. You should have 1 loop now on the end of your pineapple. Chain 3, work 1 double crochet into the chain space, and then we're going to work, pop that back out the right way. We're going to work into the next 7 stitches. 1, I should have said 1 double crochet into the next 7 stitches. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then work 1 into the chain space. So now we have a total of 9 double crochet in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 2 of them are in the chain spaces. Then chain 3 and work your pineapple stitch. And this is the repeat all the way to the end, and you will end with the same stitch count, not stitch count, but you're going to end with the same number of stitches you started off with. So when you get down to the end, you're going to work 1 double crochet into your last chain space, and then 6 double crochet into the last remaining 6 stitches for 7 in a row. So that is row 13, very easy. I'll be back for row 14. Okay, so for row 14, we're going to work 6 double crochet in a row. This being our first. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. We're going to work a cluster into the last stitch, just like we did down in this row here. So I'll go ahead and work that off camera real quick. Okay. We're going to work 1 double crochet into the chain space again. Chain 3, work 1 single crochet into the last chain 3 loop of the pineapple, just like that. Chain 3, work 1 double crochet into the chain 3 space, work a cluster into the first double crochet of this section, okay, work 7 double crochet in a row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, and then repeat. You're going to work 1 cluster into this last stitch, a double crochet into the chain space, chain 3, work a single crochet into the top of your pineapple, chain 3, double crochet into the chain space, cluster into the first double crochet, just like over here, 7 double crochet, cluster into the last double crochet, double into the chain space, and repeat all the way to the end. You're going to end with the same number of stitches that we started off with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So end with 6 double crochet after you work your last cluster, okay? I will be back for row 15. It's really coming together. I really, really like this. Okay, I'll be back. All right, let's move on to row 15. Here is how everything is looking. So now we're going to work 10 double crochet in a row, and 2 of those will be worked into the chain space. So this will make number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now into the chain space, we work 9 and 10. Chain 1, and in the next chain space, we're going to start working, this will be the repeat, 15 double crochet in a row. 2 of them will be worked, a total of 4 of them, but 2 into each chain space. So we're going to start with 2 double crochet into this chain space. 1, 2. Now working into the stitches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then into the next chain space over, we work 14 and 15. So 2 double crochet into that chain space. And then repeat. Chain 1, jump over to the next chain space, and start working your 15 double crochet in a row, starting with 2 double crochet into the chain spaces. Each chain space is going to get 2 double crochet. You're going to end with 2 double crochet into the last chain space as 1 and 2, and then work until you should end with 10 double crochet just as we started, okay? I will be back whenever we are ready for row 16. Very easy row here. Okay, there we go. Let's work on row 16. We're going to work 8 double crochet in a row. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Now we're going to work a cluster stitch into the next stitch. I'll be right back. Okay, now we're going to work 1 double crochet into the last double crochet on the end. 1 double crochet into the chain 1 space. 1 double crochet into the first double crochet over, and work another cluster. There we go. And now we're going to work 11 double crochet in a row, and this is the repeat. So that makes 1, 2, 3. I'll be right back. Now you're going to repeat everything we did over here. So after you've worked 11 double crochet, you're going to work a cluster into the next double. Then you're going to work a double into the chain 1 space, a double, and then a double into the first of the next diamond over, and then follow that with another cluster. So this is your repeat all the way to the end. I will be right back. You're going to end with the amount of stitches we started off with: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So work 8 double crochet to the end. Okay, there we go. That is how row 16 looks. Row 17 is going to be very simple. You're just going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch to the end. So I will be right back for row 18. Just work 1 double crochet into every single stitch. I'll be right back. Okay, there we go, row 17. Now row 18 is going to be worked up just like how we worked our first cluster row. So we're going to start with our 10 double crochet. That's 1, 2, 3. Be right back. That's 8, 9, and 10. And then we're going to work a cluster into the next stitch over. Pull through all 6, and we're going to work 15 double crochet in a row, just like we did on our first cluster row of the pattern. And that's the repeat. Every 16 stitches, you're going to work a cluster, and you're going to end with 10 double crochet. I will be right back. There you go. This is the entire repeat pattern. You will repeat this for rows 19 through to 98. You're going to repeat row 3 through 18 5 more times. Basically just repeat rows 3 through 18 until you have reached row 98. So you will want a row counter that will be your best friend, or just write down, 19 all the way to 98 and just put a little tick next to the number of that row you just completed. But rows 19 through 98, repeat rows 3 through 18. Row 99, which is your last row, you're just going to work 1 row of double crochet across, and that's it. Now, since I don't have a completed blanket here for you to show you how to do the edging, it's really basic terminology here. So I'm just going to hold up the instructions for the edging, and you can pause the screen. And that is the edging. Okay. So I think this is very regal and fancy, and I love it. If I'm being honest, I wouldn't make it for a baby blanket. I would make it for my living room couch. Yeah. Not that babies aren't worthy of it. It just seems a bit fancy and regal for a baby, in my opinion, because I think of babies, I think of cute, chunky, soft, fluffy flowers and pretty things, when I see this, it looks very Regal to me, and I really love it. Let me show you that finished photo again. I love the color as well. I love this color, but I also love this color. There it is. Very, 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 very nice. I love all those textures. Absolutely obsessed with those textures. Yeah, to me, it seems very Regal for a baby blanket, but that's just my opinion. Okay, guys, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. And are you going to make this one? I hope you do, and I hope that you share photos of it with me on my email so that I can share them with the rest of the community. Okay, guys, you can find this pattern in the link in the description box. There is a link in the description box down below. I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.